Have you ever quietly wondered why so many people begin to decline so quickly after turning 80, even if they seem relatively healthy just a few years before? It's not simply about age. It's not genetics alone. The real culprits are often invisible, creeping in slowly over the years until one day. It's hard to get out of bed, hard to remember names, hard to feel like yourself. Reaching 80 is no small feat. It's something to be celebrated. But thriving beyond that milestone? That takes more than luck. It takes awareness, intentional care, and sometimes a new perspective on things we once brushed off as just part of aging. In this video, we'll uncover 4 hidden yet powerful forces that quietly chip away at the body, mind, and spirit after 80. These aren't rare diseases or dramatic medical emergencies. They're everyday, under-the-radar conditions that most people don't even talk about until they've already taken a toll. What makes these issues especially dangerous is their subtlety. They don't always show up in lab results or make headlines, but they slowly affect your strength, independence, and peace of mind. The good news? Once you understand them, you can push back. You can make small, smart changes that protect your vitality, whether you're 67 or 87. So if you care about aging with strength and dignity, not just living longer, but living better, stay with us. Because by the time we get to the 4th reason, you might realize it's not only the most surprising, it could also be the most important of them all. Let's begin this journey together and make these later years the most empowered yet. 1. Silent inflammation, the invisible fire aging you from within. Most people think that aging happens because the body just slows down. But the truth is, one of the most powerful forces undermining your health after 65, and especially beyond 80, is something you likely won't feel, hear, or see. It's called silent inflammation, and it quietly drains your strength, your energy, and your resilience. Unlike the type of inflammation you might see when you sprain your ankle or cut your finger, swelling, redness, pain, chronic low-grade inflammation operates below the radar. You might not feel it at all, but that doesn't mean it isn't causing damage. In fact, research shows that this type of inflammation plays a major role in accelerating the aging process. It contributes to heart disease, memory loss, joint stiffness, weakened immunity, and even mobility issues. It doesn't just age the body, it ages your quality of life. So where does it come from? Years of exposure to processed foods, emotional stress, poor sleep, sedentary habits, and environmental toxins build up over time. Add in natural changes that come with age, like a slower metabolism or a less responsive immune system, and your body becomes less capable of fighting back. You might know someone like George, an active 82-year-old who never smoked, walked daily, and tried to eat right. Yet he often felt tired, foggy, or just off. His standard blood tests looked fine. But when he saw a specialist, they discovered elevated inflammatory markers that had likely been simmering for years. This story is more common than most people realize. After 70, the body loses its buffer zone, the ability to recover easily from dietary slip-ups, a bad night's sleep, or chronic stress. What you could bounce back from in your 50s or 60s begins to take a real toll. Here's the good news. Fighting inflammation doesn't require expensive treatments or radical diets. In many cases, the most powerful anti-inflammatory strategies are simple, sustainable, and even enjoyable. Start with whole foods, fresh vegetables, berries, wild-caught fish, olive oil, and nuts. These aren't just nutritious. They actively combat inflammation. Avoid ultra-processed snacks, sugary drinks, and anything labeled low-fat but packed with additives. Daily movement is another powerful tool. You don't need a gym membership. A 20-minute walk each day, gentle stretching, or Tai Chi can work wonders in reducing inflammatory stress on your system. Physical activity helps your body flush out inflammatory compounds and strengthens your heart, brain, and immune system. Sleep also plays a vital role. Inflammation rises when the body is deprived of quality rest. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, cool, dark, and quiet. Stick to a sleep schedule and avoid screen time close to bedtime. And don't overlook the impact of stress. Chronic tension, worry about family, finances, or health, triggers hormonal responses that fuel inflammation. Practices like meditation, prayer, journaling, or simply chatting with a friend can help reduce this burden. After 80, small things matter more. A little bit of inflammation that might not have made a difference decades ago can now affect how you move, think, or recover. This is why staying mindful of it and actively working to reduce it can profoundly impact your well-being. So ask yourself today, what's one habit I can improve to calm the silent inflammation in my body? Maybe it's adding a serving of leafy greens. Maybe it's swapping the soda for water. Maybe it's stepping outside for a morning walk. Every small step helps extinguish that invisible fire and gives your body a better chance to stay strong, sharp, and steady in the years ahead. 2. Muscle loss, the hidden threat to balance and independence. One of the most underestimated changes that happens as we grow older is muscle loss, a slow and quiet process that becomes more pronounced with each passing year after age 60 and especially after 80. The medical term for this is sarcopenia, and it's a bigger deal than many people realize. This isn't just about looking less toned or feeling a little weaker. Muscle is more than just strength. It's your body's engine, your balance system, and your protective gear all rolled into one. When muscle mass decreases, everything from climbing stairs to catching yourself when you trip becomes harder and more dangerous. Many people assume they'll simply slow down a bit with age, but what's often happening is a gradual weakening of the very muscles that support mobility, posture, and daily function. And here's the tricky part. It doesn't hit all at once. It starts subtly. Maybe you notice a jar is harder to open, or you need to push off the arm of the chair to stand. Then one day, something as routine as stepping over a rug can cause a fall that leads to weeks or even months of recovery. Let's consider Frank, age 84. He was mentally sharp, still lived alone, and walked around the block every morning. But one simple trip on a rug led to a hip fracture. The doctors told him the fall wasn't just bad luck. It was the result of years of muscle decline that had gone unnoticed. This pattern is heartbreakingly common. After 80, just a few weeks in bed from an injury or illness can cause dramatic loss of muscle, which then leads to greater risk of falls, dependency on walkers or wheelchairs, and a major loss of independence. For many older adults, the first fall is the beginning of a cascade that ends with full-time care. But here's the good news. Muscle loss is not inevitable. You can take action, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond, to slow, stop, and in many cases reverse this decline. So what can you do? First, make movement non-negotiable. It doesn't have to be intense or painful. A simple walk around the neighborhood, stretching while watching TV, or even doing gentle leg lifts while seated can help maintain mobility. Resistance training, using light dumbbells or resistance bands a few times a week, is one of the most effective ways to rebuild strength. You don't need to lift heavy weights. Consistency matters more than intensity. Second, eat for your muscles. Many older adults aren't getting enough high-quality protein, which is essential for maintaining and building muscle. Aim for lean meats, eggs, beans, or protein-rich dairy at each meal. If chewing is difficult, there are many soft, protein-packed foods in smoothies that can help. Third, stay on your feet. Avoid long periods of sitting whenever possible. Standing to fold laundry, walking while talking on the phone, or simply shifting positions often can make a difference in how your muscles respond to daily life. And finally, check your home environment. Remove tripping hazards like loose rugs or clutter. Install grab bars in the bathroom and make sure your lighting is bright and even. Staying upright isn't just about muscles. It's about giving your body every advantage to stay safe. Remember, staying strong isn't about vanity. It's about freedom. Freedom to shop for groceries, play with grandchildren, tend your garden, or simply get out of bed without assistance. After 80, muscle truly becomes your silent guardian. Treat it like gold. because it just might be the thing that allows you to live independently and confidently in the years to come. 3. Poor sleep. How it weakens both body and mind. We often think of sleep as a passive activity, something we simply fall into at the end of a long day. But as we get older, especially past 65 and well into our 80s, the quality of your sleep becomes one of the most powerful indicators of your physical and mental well-being. Unfortunately, aging often brings a natural shift in sleep patterns. You may find yourself waking up several times a night, feeling tired even after what seemed like a full night's rest, or struggling to fall asleep in the first place. Many older adults accept this as just part of getting older. But here's the thing, poor sleep is not harmless. It's not a minor annoyance. It can have serious consequences on everything from your memory to your immune system. You see, sleep is not just rest, it's recovery. During deep sleep stages, your brain flushes out waste, your cells repair themselves, and your immune system recalibrates. Without these processes, it's like trying to drive a car with the oil light on and ignoring the check engine signal. Eventually, something breaks down. Take Alice, for example. She's 86 and used to wake up 3 or 4 times a night. She chalked it up to age. Over time, she noticed she was forgetting things more often, getting sick more frequently, and feeling a persistent lack of energy. It wasn't until her doctor pointed out that fragmented sleep was harming her brain and immune health that she began making changes. And she's not alone. Millions of older Americans live with disrupted sleep, never realizing it's contributing to cognitive fog, depression, low energy, and even increased fall risk. Poor sleep is also linked to higher rates of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. So what can you do about it? The first step is recognizing that better sleep is within reach, no matter your age. There are lifestyle changes, simple ones, that can make a meaningful difference. Start with your environment. Your bedroom should be a sleep sanctuary, cool around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, dark and quiet. Blackout curtains or a white noise machine can help create a peaceful space that encourages deeper rest. Avoid watching television or scrolling your phone in bed. Blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Next, stick to a consistent schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time, even on weekends, helps reinforce your internal clock. Your body thrives on rhythm, and the more predictable your routine, the easier it becomes to fall asleep and stay asleep. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. Many people believe a glass of wine helps them sleep, but alcohol actually disrupts the later stages of rest, which are critical for mental and physical repair. Light movement during the day, like a morning walk, gentle stretching, or chair yoga, can also promote better sleep at night. Physical activity burns off excess energy and helps regulate the hormones that impact sleep quality. And don't underestimate the power of natural morning light. Just 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight exposure shortly after waking helps anchor your circadian rhythm, making it easier to wind down when evening comes. Improving your sleep isn't about perfection, it's about progress, one small step at a time. Better sleep doesn't just help you feel more rested. It helps your brain stay sharper, your balance stay steadier, and your immune system stay stronger. As you grow older, sleep becomes less of a luxury and more of a lifeline. It's one of the most effective, drug-free tools available to preserve your independence, clarity, and vitality. So tonight, ask yourself, what's one change I can make to protect my sleep? Because sometimes the smartest thing you can do for your health is simply get a good night's rest. 4. Loneliness and the loss of purpose. The emotional weight no one talks about. When people think about what shortens life after 80, most imagine physical decline, frailty, illness, maybe even injury. But there's another threat, quieter, often invisible, that affects far more seniors than we care to admit. Loneliness and the fading sense of daily purpose. It's not about being alone exactly. Many people enjoy solitude, but loneliness is something deeper. It's the feeling that no one truly sees you, that your days no longer feel connected to others, and that the roles that once gave your life structure, like parenting, working, or caregiving have faded away without being replaced. This isn't just an emotional concern, it's a medical one. Numerous studies have found that chronic loneliness is as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even premature death. In fact, social disconnection now ranks among the top public health concerns for older Americans. Let's take Bill, 88. His story is familiar to many. His wife passed away several years ago, and his children live out of state. His home is neat, meals are made, the television fills the silence. But some days he doesn't speak a single word to another person, and over time, the sense of being needed, the feeling that he still matters, has quietly slipped away. Bill isn't alone. After 80, many people lose their social circles to time and circumstance. Physical limitations can make it harder to drive or get out. Friends pass on. Weekly gatherings become less frequent. And what used to be small talk at church, the grocery store, or the front porch becomes a rare event. But here's the truth. The human spirit needs connection just as much as the body needs nutrition. When we feel seen, valued, and involved, even in small ways, it strengthens our brain chemistry, boosts immune response, and renews our will to stay active. Purpose doesn't have to mean a career or a lifelong mission. At this stage of life, it's often found in small, meaningful acts. Calling a neighbor, writing a note to your grandchild, feeding the birds each morning, or tending to your garden. These aren't just pastimes, they are anchors. They give shape to the day. They offer identity and rhythm. And most importantly, they remind us that we still have something to offer. The good news is that purpose can be cultivated deliberately. You can create small rituals, reach out to people from your past, or volunteer even just an hour a week at your local community center or library. You can offer wisdom to younger generations, teach a skill over the phone, or join an online group that shares your interests. And if you're feeling isolated, don't wait for someone to reach out first. Initiating connection is an act of strength. It might be uncomfortable at first, but it could be the very thing that brings new light into your life and someone else's too. So ask yourself honestly, what gives me a sense of purpose today? And if you're not sure, start small. Set a goal to bring one moment of joy or comfort to another person tomorrow. That single act can ripple through your week in unexpected ways. In the end, we all want to feel that we matter, because we do. After 80, connection isn't optional, it's vital. And purpose, however quiet or modest, is the thread that holds our days together with meaning. If you've made it to this point, take a deep breath and feel proud. It means you're not just interested in living longer, you're committed to living better. And that mindset, especially after 65 or 70, makes all the difference. What we've uncovered today are 4 quiet but powerful forces: chronic inflammation, muscle loss, poor sleep, and emotional disconnection that often go unnoticed until they have already begun to shape how we move, think, and feel. But here's the most important truth: you're not powerless. Aging doesn't have to mean surrender. It can mean adapting smarter, acting earlier, and choosing purposefully. Every single improvement counts. Maybe that means adding a short walk after lunch, or replacing processed snacks with fresh food, or calling a friend you've lost touch with, or even committing to a consistent bedtime. These aren't dramatic changes, but over time, they build resilience, clarity, and joy. So now ask yourself, which of these 4 areas spoke to me the most? Don't just store this information, use it. Start a journal, write down one new habit to try this week, and share this video with someone who needs encouragement too. And we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the one insight you're taking with you and how you plan to use it. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and empowers older adults like you, because you've earned the right to age with strength, clarity, and dignity. Don't settle for less. We'll see you in the next video.